It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It's Friday. Hooray, hooray. Friday, February. Where's the gill over here?
Is that how Scott does it?
Yeah.
Or is he deeper? Does he do woo woo?
We should have patched him in by iPhone.
Yeah, he needs to call in.
Yeah,
he needs
dial
to
the
text
code.
me and I'll put him on.
It's 7 a.m. on this Friday. This is, yes, the last Friday of February.
Woo woo!
That's one Friday closer to spring. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Gil Reynolds this morning, and Jagger's down here running around.
We brought the A-team in today.
There you go. Yeah, boy, we could get even with Scott over a lot of things, can't we? Dial in the code, Scooter. We'll put you on TV. Anyway, good morning, everybody. There goes Jagger across the studio. He's fun. He's been walking all across the counter here. Hey, I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. You can do the same thing. Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you right here in Mountain Home. As you heard in the introduction, Baxter Regional Medical Center. We've got 62 East Plaza, Balmer Boulevard, which will be very busy this morning between now and 8 o'clock. Mike and the staff do a fantastic job. Tell you what, they've got mochas and lattes, espressos, and the menu board could stretch from here to the back wall over here. So check out Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. And wow, they just do a great job. Mike's just a special person. He's just very talented with the coffee industry and just serves Mountain Home well. The best coffee in town. Now, don't take my word for it. I got a full pot of coffee over here. Just come on down. We're at 1226 Commerce Drive. Come in, walk behind the cameras, and get you a cup of coffee and watch the show. And so stick around and enjoy some stuff.
Come in, get a cup of coffee, and then walk out. Then we'd be like, who's that guy?
He just ran off with my coffee cup. What do we got, about 40 cups over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of cups over there. Anyway, Brewed Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Morning prayer brought by Roller Funeral Homes across the state and right here in Mountain Home. Roller Funeral Homes for all your pre-planning needs. Like I say, you know, it could be an emergency or it could be a long-anticipated passing, you know, of a loved one. I went through it in November. Roller Funeral Homes right here in Mountain Home. 29 across the state to serve you. 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Gives you a total of 40 right here in the area. So Roller Funeral Homes, very professional, caring, and loving. Talk to Charlotte or Bruce or Chris. Anybody down there is going to be able to help you. They're going to tell you some things that you don't even think twice about. You know, like, ooh, I didn't even think of that. You know, well, that's why they're there. Pre-plan now. Give them a call right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. Let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, as I look at the radar and see the rain in some areas, I can't help but think of our farmers again. Crop, cattle, poultry, all depend on the weather. Lord, in Missouri and Arkansas, agriculture is the way of life for many people, and I pray the 2019 season will be very successful for our farmers. And then also fuel prices are a huge factor, and Lord, for all of us, our budgets get bounced around with gas and diesel go up and down. So Lord, overall, our economy relies on low fuel prices and decent food prices. Overall, Lord, please bless our farmers this year. Grant them success in 2019. And that's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, right here in Mountain Home, bringing the morning prayer each and every day. Roller Funeral Homes. You going to do the trumpet like Scooter does?
Can I do it? I'll do it better.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, listen to that. Woo, you're hired. Sign him up. Get him a contract.
He must be sleeping because I haven't got a text.
Yeah, there'd be some explicit text message. I'm very proud of our new weather sponsor, the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team for all your real estate needs.
What do I need to pull up first?
I think it's a side-by-side graphic, I think.
Okay.
Let's see.
Of what, the local weather?
No, local weather.
No.
Well, let me go ahead and put the temperature.
Let's
let me
put something up
Let's
so I
put the
can put it
temperatures.
up.
Okay. Okay. Morning weather is brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda. There it is right there. Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team for all your real estate needs. Go to retiretoarkansas.net. The Z-Team. And two great friends, love them to death. Say about Bob and Linda do a great job. Morning weather brought to you by the Z Team, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. Right now we've got 40 degrees in Mountain Home, 37 in Harrison, 39 at Hardy, 41 in Mountain View, Yellville at 41, Marshall at 41 as well. Beautiful little Calico Rock, Arkansas along the White River, 40 degrees. We're going to talk more about Calico Rock here in a few minutes. Around the region, St. Louis checks in at 32, but Poplar Bluff's at 41, while it's 37 in Branson, West Plains at 38, but minus 18 in Watford City, North Dakota. Whew, boy, that's where Caleb's at. Minus 18. Woo, let me tell you. On the national radar, we see showers will start at the West Coast, showers in Arizona and some places. 6 inches at Flagstaff. Of course, you have the usual shower coming in off of the west coast of the state of Washington, scattered showers throughout California. California's either flooding and sliding or burning, one of the two. You can't ever figure them out there, but my goodness, it's weather extreme after another out there. Another line of showers from North Texas into the panhandle of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, southern part of South Dakota. The main part of the shower activities, Texas to northwest Arkansas, and then east central Texas across Louisiana on the eastern half of Arkansas. A lot of rain in Tennessee and Kentucky, moving all the way over into the East Coast and the Carolina area. And so I'm going to hit that Little Rock stop there, Gil. The Little Rock radar, we're going to see what you can see, that big old swirl right here. We do have some flood watch boxes down in the southern part and the southeast part of the state of Arkansas. This is going to affect Interstate 30. It's going to affect Highway 65 south of Little Rock, I-40 east of Little Rock towards Memphis. It's going to affect Interstate 555 and Highway 67, 167 between Little Rock, Batesville, and Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Northern Arkansas as well, 62, 412 east and west, basically across the northern part of the state's affected. I-40 west towards, well, once you get almost to Fort Smith. That'll bail me out there. Fort Smith to Fayetteville with shower activity as well. From Texarkana to Mena is not too bad right now, and Hot Springs not getting much right now, nor is Little Rock. Central part of the state not getting as much as the southeast part. So just, we'll go to iDrive Arkansas in just a minute, show you how to navigate that. Going back up and go to the St. Louis radar stop to see what's in Missouri right now. We'll check those highways for you. You can see the northern part of the storm there, or the rain showers, West Plains to Poplar Bluff. That affects Highway 160, Highway 63, Highway 67, and Highway 60 at Poplar Bluff. Interstate 55 north from Sykeston, though, to Cape Girardeau into St. Louis is in good shape. Columbia, I-70 east to St. Louis, east out of St. Louis into Illinois. Vandalia, Effingham in good shape. I-64 East St. Louis, Illinois to Mount Vernon, looks good there. Rolla on I-40 east to St. Louis, no problems there. Southwest Missouri real quick. You can see a little bit of shower activity south of Joplin, maybe right in the city of Joplin. I-44 Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield. Now we're seeing a little bit coming into the southern part of Springfield area, going to affect I-44. So if you're driving Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, lights and wipers up there, it looks like. Kansas City east on 70 towards Jefferson City, in pretty good shape right there. But overall, I'll go back to that national image right there, Gil. We do have the shower activity. Mainly I-40 is the main highway affected here. Once you get Little Rock, Memphis, Jackson, Nashville, all the way over to Knoxville, Tennessee, all the way over to the East Coast. Also, the bulk of the rain will affect Interstate 65 from Birmingham to Indianapolis. I-24, Chattanooga into Paducah, Kentucky will be affected as well. And let's see, the forecast map. You can see the flood watch boxes in southern Arkansas, central Mississippi. And then we do have, let's see, it's over in Kansas. We do have a winter weather advisory in Kansas and northern Missouri and southern Iowa. Flood watch boxes in Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, all of Tennessee, all of Kentucky, some of Virginia and West Virginia as well. So a lot of rain pumping that moisture out of the Gulf across eastern Arkansas into Tennessee. And that's what's going to change our weather later on. 7-day forecast for today, a 60% chance of showers today, drops to a 30%. We have a high of 46 degrees today. Then tonight, a 60% chance of showers, 50%, 60 to 50%. It goes back and forth, 60, 30, 60, and 50. Low of 44 tonight. Then tomorrow, 80% chance of showers with some wind. We have a high of 65 tomorrow. Saturday night, a low of 36. Increasing clouds and breezy. Sunday is sunny. Try to say that real quick. Sunday is sunny. High of 54 degrees on Sunday. Sunday night, a low of 27. Monday, high of 53, low of 32. Then Tuesday, a high of 56. We check now the Retire to Arkansas live weather cam, brought to you by the Z Team, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate.
Just give everybody an idea of what we're looking at.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, this is a normal summertime or late fall day here on the White River. You can see on the top left of your screen where Bull Shoals would be located. You can see the Missouri state line at Harrison, Arkansas. You can see the Mountain Home area, the White River. And so this is the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora weather cam.
And there's the live feed.
And there's the live feed. Morning in Cotter, you can see the little baseball field there in Cotter. You can see the bridges. Beautiful. I mean, isn't that's the live feed right now.
Yeah, there's no boats going across. You know, when y'all set this up, you were playing Sink the Battleship. Because they were looking at the live feed and they saw some boats going across. And
trout fishermen. Yeah. There you go.
And so they're using
the beautiful White River at Cotter. Brought to you by Century 21 Lemac Real Estate, the Z Team. Bob and Linda Zadora. RetireToArkansas.net. Wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful shot this morning.
Looks pretty clear out there.
Boy, it is. Yesterday was so foggy you couldn't see past the rock.
Huh.
I'm going to get a lot of that in the springtime, but beautiful shot. Thanks to the Z Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, for sponsoring the morning weather. Take a look at the drought monitors. They were updated yesterday, of course, with all the rain. Nothing affecting Arkansas or Missouri. Find it? Yeah, there it is. Everything good in Arkansas and Missouri. There's the Missouri map as well. We'll check iDrive Arkansas. Check road conditions. They should be all in good shape. The little circle X's. And see, let's go down here to Dumas, Arkansas. I'm sure it's going to be flood related. Highway 159 in Dacia County. High water. Both lanes are closed on 159. Of course, if you have it, like Gil's got a soft drink here in a little cup from, where'd you go, Hardee's this morning. If you're out of southeast Arkansas and pour that out on the highway, that can trigger a flash flood down there. You know, that's how flat it is down there. So when you go to iDrive Arkansas, which I just somehow knocked off the line here, and you see the little circle blue X, that means there's some high water. State of Missouri, I need to refresh this. They're showing some from Jefferson City, but just north of Columbia towards Macon, Kirksville, and Lancaster, Missouri. They're showing mostly clear roads, so apparently they've had some snow or ice up in there in extreme northern Missouri. And so if you're out traveling, check iDrive Arkansas. When you go to iDrive Arkansas, you can check all the border states: Tennessee, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri. Morning weather is brought to you by the Z Team, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate, for all your real estate needs. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team. RetireToArkansas.net. Community calendar brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square at Mountain Home. Best lunch, best breakfast in town, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11. He put a new graphic in there.
Oh, there we go. I found
there it is.
Right, cover your face.
Boy, perfect time. Perfect.
I'll move this camera here. There we go.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square Mountain. We'll be down there tomorrow morning about 7:30 for breakfast. Come on down and enjoy coffee, pancakes, eggs, bacon, so you name it, they've got it. Great lunch, great breakfast, and just a fun spot just to come. I love the downtown square anyway. You know, it was down there, I think it was Christmas Eve morning, just a nice, quiet, peaceful morning. Christmas decorations were out, and the square was so quiet, just so peaceful. Go into Old Time Restaurant, sit and have a cup of coffee, enjoy breakfast. Very nice. Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. There'll be a Mardi Gras party at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church at 511 Coley Drive on Tuesday, March 5th. Starts at 6 o'clock, and it'll end in who knows when. Cajun dinner, beverages, and desserts, music by Chaotic Entertainment, dancing, auctions, raffles, and revelry. Invite your neighbors to join you. It's $20 each. Seating is limited, so act quickly. Tickets available for purchase at the office. Call 425-3560. The Mardi Gras Party, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church at 511 Coley Drive. Today is the chili supper for the Mountain Home High School French Club. This takes place from 4 to 7 tonight at the Century 21 Lemac office building. This is to raise money for the summer 2020 trip to Montreal, Quebec. And, well, it says Quebec, so it's going to be other cities, I guess, in Montreal. And so come enjoy a bowl of chili, dessert, bottle of water, have a good time, raise some money for the Mountain Home High School French Club, their trip to Quebec in 2020. Another fundraiser coming up for, this is for the Mountain Home Christian Academy. Their junior high, the Mountain Home Christian Academy Junior High, is going to Kentucky to the Ark Encounter. This trip will enforce the knowledge that science may change, but God's Word remains as truth. Donations are welcome. You come in as it's a drop-in spaghetti dinner from 5:30 to 7:30. Now, the location is Mountain Home Bible Church. It's not at the Christian Academy. The Mountain Home Bible Church is at 145 Pioneer Trail. Come in, have spaghetti, enjoy the evening, and donate some money to help the kids go to the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. Now, I believe that's everything. This one has been changed, so I got to wait for the update on that one. And so we're already at 7:15. Wow. You ready for the weekend?
Yes, Miranda and I are gonna go to Dino Quest in Little Rock.
What's that?
It's they have dinosaur exhibit, and they have
Really?
There's guys with puppets that have make it look like real
Is that
dinosaurs.
the riverfront area downtown?
I don't know.
Dumbo
She
Library?
set it up.
Wow, that'd be
She
fun.
bought the tickets, so we're gonna go down there and take our daughter, and so we got a big
That'd be
weekend
fun.
planned.
All right, coming up, Gloria Sanders from the Calico Rock Museum is our guest today. So after the break, Gloria will join us. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with a pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn and Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn and Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area. And you're back.
7:18 on this Friday, February 22nd. We'll welcome Gloria Sanders from Calico Rock Museum.
That's exactly right.
I love Calico Rock.
It's a wonderful place to be.
Beautiful little town.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's been about 7 years since I've been here, so we've had a lot of changes. And in that time, when we first started, we just had the small museum. We have since added a restaurant, which we now have the Printing Press Cafe, which was in the Progress Building. As you know, the museum is on the main level, up the higher level of the two, and so on the very end of it, not where the old bank was, but next door to that is the Printing Press Cafe. It was the very first newspaper with Neil Brooks of Progress, so we have converted that. It was another historical building, so for us it was a real big plus. We only do lunch, but it's a really nice place. It's done in black and white, so you can, the inside is all done in black and white, so it has like, you know, newspaper type print. We've also purchased the old Floyd grocery store building across the street, directly across the street from the museum, and that now has our art and science. So we're really pleased with the art, some of the art that we have. We have an Alice Neal, which is an national fame. We have a local people, of course. We have Rhoda Dorr, we have Dana Schaefer, we have the different people. So it's really, really pleasing. Downstairs below that, we have our Science Center. Science Center first started off, we had purchased from the Discovery Museum the crime scene, so the kids could actually go downstairs and solve a crime, and it was really neat. We had actually have people coming 100 miles for the kids to come and solve the crime. This year, we have expanded that. We're moving the Science Center to the back because once you've gone through the crime scene, it's really hard to keep going through it back and forth. So we are now adding additional. We have a wind tunnel. We have a huge lava lamp. We have different things that go, and that won't open up until about April 1st, but that's what we're hoping. So we're working on that right now.
You know what I'd like to do real quick? Gil, can we throw that picture up right quick? This is Highway 5 just taken from the railroad track here downtown Calico Walk. If we're at the railroad track.
I am the first building on the left.
This
the
one right
museum.
here,
that is the museum.
Right here where my cursor's at right there, yeah.
And then move back, going up the way, you'll see just a little bit on that, where the other side of that sign is, right there.
Right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where the cafe is.
Yep.
And then directly across the street is where the Floyd grocery store is, as well as was also the Don Quixote restaurant for 16 years.
Yeah.
So that's where the Art and Science Center is.
A lot of times I use Highway 5 now to go to Little Rock.
Yeah,
I quit using Highway 65 and all this stuff. Just it was just a mess. And Highway 5's in really good shape.
Yeah, it is.
I love just to drive real slow through Calico.
Yeah.
The pride and the caring spirit, you can see it in the downtown area. Yeah. And even, excuse me, back in the radio days when we'd do a thing with Bob Sador on radio, and we talk about Calico Rock. It's such a historical town. You've got the river, you got the railroad, and I'd like to know more about the history of Calico.
Well, I can tell you that
Didn't
pretty
they
much.
navigate boats up that river?
It actually started. Calico Rock started actually in about 1823 as a riverboat town.
1823. So
1823.
That's 60 years before Baxter County even existed.
Yes, that is true. And at that point in time, that area had a population of about 3,000 people.
Really?
Because it was as far up the river as the riverboats could come.
Really?
So people would come, they had to come there to pick up their supplies and to put them back on the riverboat. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year they could go further up the river when the water was high.
Yeah.
But everything depended upon the depth of the river. So.
But how far?
It may sometimes, very seldom, could get as far as Missouri line, but most as far as Cotter. That was about as far up as it could get. But it was a really big. Everything came there. We had a cotton gin. We had our little areas that the pepper sauce alley, and because pepper sauce is what they used to call moonshine. So we have what's known Pepper Sauce Alley, which is where they had the houses there that they sold it and did that type of thing. It was a big town at that point in time. It expanded into the ghost town area, which we call it the ghost town area now, but because it's in that area, we've placed signs in front of the buildings telling you what was happening during that time period. A lot of that is owned by absentee owners, so consequently we can't really use the buildings or renovate them or do anything, so we did the best of what we could. We have a new mayor now as of November, and Greg Hamby's quite into trying to keep, he wants to bring more of Main Street and what we've done on Main Street throughout the whole town. So real excited about that. We're working really tight with him to do some things.
We need to welcome him to the show sometime.
Yes, we do. He would like to come. I talked to him yesterday. He said, I'm coming. I said, I will mention you, and I will also tell him about Calico, a little bit about Calico, not just all of the museum. The museum itself, I want to tell you just a little bit about that, in that, we not only, like I said, we have the artisan, we have the Calico Rock Heritage Museum and Visitor Center. We're contracted with the city. That's in that very first building that you see.
Right, that tourist information sign's right there.
Right, no, come all the way to the end.
There, right here, yeah.
Yep, on the end building.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
it houses our artisan cooperative as well as the visitor center. We have renovated that this last winter, and we've really brought it up to snuff, and it's really good.
What about government grants? I think for renovation and stuff and preservation and get through historical societies.
We actually didn't do that.
Really?
And mainly because it's a share type program,
Yeah.
and in a small town like that, it's hard to raise funds.
Yeah, what do you got to raise, like 15 to 20% of the grant?
At least.
Yeah.
So what we've been able to do is we are not funded by the state. So we have to actually get out and fund ourselves. So we are privately owned, so it's not like a state foundation or anything like that. So it's a little harder to do for us than some others. We have the cottage industry inside the building that has 39 different local vendors. They all live within a 50-mile radius, and they do their crafts, and it's amazing what they have been able to, what they do. It's really great.
In that building right there?
In that building. So on the first
39?
floor, 39 different cottage industries. So some of them don't have a lot, some of them have a lot. We have everything from leather, woodwork, jewelry, quilting, pottery. I'm just trying to go. We have a gentleman who makes knives. The woodwork is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Really, we have everything from the very, I shouldn't say primitive, but from the simple to a gentleman who does the most amazing inlaid wood that you've ever seen. It's really amazing.
But now with Mountain View, Arkansas being almost in your backyard,
We
can
actually
y'all work together?
We work together. We work with the folk center.
What's it, 30 miles between?
23.
23 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually 23 miles from Mountain Home and 23 miles from Mountain View. So we say we're the rock between two mountains. Mm-hmm. So we work with them. They send people our way. We send people their way. We have. Some of the vendors are the same that you'll see up in Mountain View.
Really?
But our costing process for us, we don't have to worry about the state and a lot of other fundings and stuff. So some of our people they're moving more our way is what I'm trying to say. They're moving more this way. The Tomlinson Art and Science Center, as I said, when you walk across the street and you see that building, when you walk in, it's, again, we refurbished that building with the tin ceiling. Yeah. We've got the alcoves as an art center. It's nowhere what you'll find at Crystal Bridges, but we said it's at least for Izard County. It's a great art. The kids can actually go in and see the art and know how to react in an art building, an art center, and what they can say. I always tell the kids when they come in, I said, don't ask me why this is, but an art center and an art gallery is quieter than a library. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but it always is that way. But they learn how to act and what to look for when they go through an art center. So we have a gift shop in that building called the Brushstrokes. We have a gift shop, of course, the Artisan Cooperative. Those are the things that we actually own and run. But we also sponsor the storybook program, which is at the prison, which takes care of 44 inmates, and that goes to 72 kids. What they do is they actually go in and read books, and then they're sent to these kids that don't, so they hear the voice and know what's going on. So it's really a good program. We sponsor that, and we've also sponsored, just new this last year would be the Bridges program, which is it's a backpack program.
Yes.
So every child, we have
Yes.
50 kids that go home every weekend with the backpack programs.
Good. I think don't they have that in Mountain Longview?
It's a fairly new program,
Yeah.
but it's really
think I've heard
spreading
of
and
it
like
here,
wildfire,
yeah.
and it's a good program to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Methodist Church does it.
Is it?
Does
Oh,
a
yes.
backpack program.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's basically, and recently, because we have nothing else to do, we came up with our new magazine, and we now have a magazine.
Oh my goodness!
And
Look
it's
at that cover.
called the Explore magazine.
Hold that up to the camera. People can get the glare off of the lights there. Is this the park out as you come in?
That's Rand Park. That's correct.
I love that park.
I know. We're doing more with it, and our mayor is determined to get it cleaned up with the. He's trying to get the stream team in and get it working with them, and we're going to work with Fish and Game, and we're really trying to expand on all of that. So
That's a gorgeous park.
It's gorgeous. It really is.
I'd
yeah.
love to bring
We
my
have two
tent
parks
down there and just camp.
Yeah, well, You know, we have we've had a Mountain Man Rendezvous down there every September. This year they're going to Batesville, so we won't be having that. Yeah. But we have Native American weekend, and we'll probably move it to the park for that weekend.
Oh,
so
that'll be. Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I was down there once for Native American. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This last year, we've been able to contract with the Oklahoma Fancy Dancers. And they are an amazing dance team that come in, and it's just amazing. And it brings tears to your eyes when you watch them dance. He does this one of an eagle, and he's actually like an eagle in flight, and it's just unbelievable.
There's like a couple of pictures here just off of the bluffs at Culp Road.
Yeah.
That down at Culp. Yeah.
That's the City Rock Bluff. Mm-hmm. So that is. It used to be part of Calico, but now it's. It's in Stone County. Actually, I think it's in Baxter County if you really get down to it.
Really?
The road, that road, Culp Road goes, it's part Izzard, then it goes to Baxter, then it goes to Stone, then it goes, so I'm not exactly sure.
So what would that, if they eventually were able to go all the way over to Push Mountain Road and pave Culp, wouldn't that help?
It would, but it's so unique going down there. And I'll tell you the really amazing thing, if you ever go down in between January and March, there is the Mennonite Bible school that comes in.
Sure.
And they are from all over the United States. What's amazing is that when you're driving down the road, you hear the voices singing at night. And it draws you in, but these people are from all of they haven't practiced, they haven't done anything, and they do it all a cappella. It's just so amazing to see and to hear and see that kind of thing. It really is.
Need to take a break. 7:31 come up on 7:31 on this Friday, February 22nd. Be right back.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in. 7:33, almost 7:34, and we're talking about Calico Rock. Yeah, I got to ask, tell us the history of the name.
Calico Rock was actually named by the fur traders, the French fur traders that came out, plus the Native American. When the sun hits the bluff at a certain time of day, and it changes, when it hit the bluffs, it had the colors of the calico fabric that was used during that time. So it was actually named Calico Bluff. That's how it got its name.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see, as you're coming in from Mountain View, coming in on 5, you can see the bluff.
The colors are changing because of the blasting. When they had to blast to put the railroad in, you know, all that, the soot and everything, as years gone by, obviously, and some of that color is starting to come back in. That was disappeared.
Let's talk about the history of the railroad through there too. That's quite a historical run through there.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you're going downstream, that'd be east out of Calico. Does it go into? That don't go to Thayer, Missouri, does it?
I don't think so. It goes to Newark.
Does it?
Well, right now the only thing that travels on that on the rails is coal.
Yeah.
So it takes it down to the Newark plant, and then comes back. It used
to
at one time.
That'll go through Cotter and all up to Carthage, Missouri, that way.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It used to have passengers, but of course that's long been.
Yeah. When did they put that railroad through?
That railroad started in 1921.
Wow.
So they actually, and the ironic part about it is that when it was built, they brought immigrants in actually to do the work. They were from here, so it wasn't like that. Yeah. But it took the Greeks and the Italians to be able to put it in.
Really? Uh-huh. Can you imagine? That'd be steam engine days.
Oh, those were steam engine days. Definitely were. In fact, the tragedies that happened in Calico Rock with the fires, and there were 2 major or 3 major fires that were there. One of them being Christmas Eve, 1925, I believe. I won't swear to that date, but it is Christmas Eve.
It lost the whole town.
That caught the railroad. What happens is the railroad, the cinders from the train would hit the roofs, and that would set the fires. We are in the process of putting a display together. One of the exhibits that we're doing is disasters, and we're doing the flood and the fires that happened in Calico Rock.
This idea just popped in my head. I love model railroads, but wouldn't it be something if you could display northern Arkansas, say in 1925, with a model railroad?
We do have a little model railroad sitting on a ledge that shows what we had, but it's not the steam. We're still working on getting things together. We try to do as authentic as possible. Yeah. And then one thing that I'm vice president of the Arkansas Museum Association, so I have a district that I visit. Mm-hmm. I have to say, of the ones that I've seen throughout the state, we're the only ones that basically do totally our own exhibits. We don't farm out anything.
Right.
So we print our own tabs. We do everything that needs to do. So it's kind of neat when I come back to our museum and I go, this is home. It really is.
So there has to be a lot of research in all the history. Yeah. So Calico was established what year?
It started in 1823. It was not a town until 1905 when it was incorporated. So it was the Wild West, so to speak. I mean, you think about it, even in during the Civil War times, there was a skirmish in Calico Rock. Not a big one at all, but there was. So, I mean, so many things. We were talking about it yesterday. A gentleman brought in, our former mayor brought in an artifacts to me, and he said, do you have any idea what this is? And I said, no, I really don't. And it looked like a collar that had spikes on it, and it was actually for weaning the calves from their mothers, because there were no fences or anything, so cattle went wherever. They just walked. They knew where to come home to, and they always did. Very seldom did you have to go out and find your own. They came home. So there's a lot. There's a lot of people that we have in Calico that we're trying now. The older folks that have the stories to tell, and we're trying to put it on digital, so that we can then turn around, and because those stories get lost.
Yeah. How rural, can you imagine how rural Calico Rock could have been even after World War II?
Oh yeah, very, very. My husband was born and raised, and he sees some of the movies that he talks, and And he would say to me, "That's how they dressed." And I'm saying, "You got to be kidding," because that was, you think of these as Jed Clampett kind of things and all that, but he says no, it was very rural. It really was. Neil, it just is hard to understand that it's made such a major change.
So basically, what year? I'm not trying to be facetious, but I'm looking at the history, because my dad's family was all in southeast Missouri, in a little town called Neelyville, Missouri.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Calico Rock. They had this huge hotel.
Right.
And on Friday, Saturday night, Neelyville would just be packed with people, maybe 600-700 people a night. They had the restaurants, had the hotel, had the railroad. Of course, the railroad north and south, because it came from St. Louis to Little Rock onto Dallas. I mean, it was Chicago, St. Louis, Little Rock, Dallas.
Right.
So you had a main line there with 2 tracks north and south. And the passenger trains would come in, says Friday and Saturday nights, the town would be packed. There's more people in the studio now there is in Neelyville, Missouri. You know what I'm saying?
I know, and that's the sad part. We really, when I used to own Don Quixotes many years ago, and at that time we laugh about it, but I got a group together. My boss tells the story, and I really hate it when he does it. So now I'm going to turn around and tell it. But I am from off, as they would say, because I was not born and raised here. So everybody that isn't born and raised here is from off. So I got together a group of people that, what I called the founding fathers, because to me it's their town. They need to do. And I said, "Look, guys, this town is dying. We need to do something." And I said, we need to say, when they come across that bridge, we need them to say, "Wow, what a cute town this is," as you did, instead of, "How fast can I get through this dump?" Because it was really becoming run down. That was in 2003, I believe it was. So we actually spent a lot of time. We did the murals. We put the solar lights out, which are no longer solar, but they were at that time. And it was really unique. If you remember the big storm we had with the ice storm, you could go downtown Calico and all those lights were on.
Really?
No lights were anywhere, but the lights were on in Calico, so it was really kind of neat. It was the only town, at that point, it was the only small town in the United States that was using solar lights as street lights.
Yeah.
We also have the only ghost town within a town in the United States. So that was something that we wanted to bring out.
So that's just a little district of Calico.
It's just that little district.
Yeah. Now, where is it located in conjunction to the railroad tracks coming north?
Okay. If you're coming, it's right off of Walnut Street. It's just one street over.
Okay.
It's pretty easy to find. We pretty well have good signage. The new mayor is helping us work on that, trying to get some of that, get it cleaned up and all that. One of the advantages that we do have is we have the North Central unit close by.
Right.
So they work well with us. They will send people out to help us. They helped us build the museum on the inside, and they actually help maintain it outside too.
Well, why don't we go ahead? We'll go ahead and take the 7:45 break, then we'll come back and talk about the museum, because we got the website pulled up. 7:42, a little bit early on the break, but stick around. More at the Calico Rock Museum right after this. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity and hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Hey, we're back, almost 7:45 on this Friday, and we're talking about the Calico Rock Museum. And once again, folks, it's just 23 miles down there on Highway 5 South, and if you're visiting the area and you want to see something really nice, go to Calico Rock. I like it. I really do. I like it.
I'll throw in, and if you before you come, and you really, well, you know, you think, well, maybe it's not as all that great. We have an app now. If you go to your Google Store or your Play Store or whatever, you can download it's Calico Rock, and it'll tell you all about it before you get there, so you know that we're really not fudging with what we're saying. It shows you there's a virtual tour through our art center. It also, this new program that we have, and it'll like ding when you're getting close to to something in Calico Rock, like you're getting close to the museum. If you're paying attention to what's going on and not really realizing the museum is right there, it's going to tell you that. We have a scavenger hunt on there. We have virtual tours. We're in the process of adding our events. So we keep it updated, and we're working on it. It's a new thing for us. We're real excited about it. We just recently, within the last month, went to the stores. Before that, you had to put in this real long website, and you can get to it. So now it's as an app. It's really great. Charlie Crawford, who is works with me in marketing, she's put a lot of time and effort into that. So really proud of that. So,
well, that Walnut Street Bridge.
That's the Walnut, yeah. I love when you go down Walnut Street, it's just so neat to see that old bridge. It goes over Calico Creek. If you look to your right, there's the old swinging bridge, which is not much left of it. It's pretty.
Really?
It is swinging, but it's down. We had at one time talked about the possibility of renovating it, but the liability of today is a lot different of what the liability was back then. So we probably
back then
will
somebody
not
fall
do
off the bridge into the creek or river. Oh, guess what Sam did? He fell off the bridge. Ha!
Yeah.
You've been in court now for 30 years.
So we're not doing that.
Talk about the museum. You can go ahead and navigate around and Gil can bring stuff up.
Let's see. We actually have. I will show you if I can't see where I'm. There we go. Right there is
Arts
our
and Science,
Art and Science Center that I was talking to you about. This is really amazing because I don't know if you might navigate it better than I can at this point. But inside the Art and Science Center, down below you see the crime scene that we talked about in the Science Center.
Right here?
Right there. There's, and it's, I don't think you can link to it. It's just sort of pictures of it. We have as I mentioned, the Alice Neal and the Guy Bell. Guy Bell is one of the, has been listed as one of the 10 most up-and-coming Arkansas artists. So we also have a piece of Tiffany in our gallery. So we're really kind of, and again, we're moving things around and getting things done. So if we go from there, we go over to, if you go back up, we'll go to the Heritage Center. And the Heritage Center is where all of our exhibits are in. We have, those are just some of the pictures that we have of the things that are going on. Over to, down to the left over there, that is where you're talking about the Ghost Town area and that type of thing.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it tells you all about that. That is a picture of and that's actually a model that was put together of the Ozark Queen. And down there, yeah, right there, that was put together by Ed Matthews. And it's as close as we can get to a replica. He spent a lot of time.
What's the history behind the Ozark Queen?
The Ozark Queen was the last ship that docked at Calico Rock. It's also the most photographed. So when you walk into our building, we give you the illusion of being on the deck of the Ozark Queen.
Really?
So when you come in and you look up, straight ahead is the wheelhouse that with the pilots and a wheel, so you could actually sit and do it. We were trying to figure out how we could work it so that when you looked outside, you could see the White River, but we didn't quite get that.
It's a no paddle wheel boat.
Yeah, and so it is without a doubt. It was the last ship that docked there in 1901, and again, it's the most photographed. So that's why we use it more than some of the others. There were keel boats and other boats that came out. That piece of artifacts that you see there, that Native American, that was a Cherokee alphabet. It was actually tilled up in a garden, and it came up. It had been authenticated by the University of Oklahoma. So it is the oldest piece that we have in the museum.
And it was dug up.
And it was actually tilled up when somebody was doing garden. What happens is so many times now with all the floods, that things that have been buried, the ground is moving and things. So a lot more arrowheads were coming up. Actually, the other thing is that Calico, the creek or the river itself used to produce mussels, and those mussels then, the shells were sent to Batesville and buttons were made. Well, we're now finding that in some of the creeks, outlining creeks like Livingston Creek and some of them, we're finding the shells are coming, the mussels are coming back a little bit. And you can actually, we did this one time where we actually opened them and there were pearls in them.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
So it's really kind of neat, yeah.
Yeah, I love history like this. These old towns, of course, like I say, when I was younger, so much younger than today, we'd go downtown Neelyville, Missouri. We'd go to Naylor and places like that. And I love things like this old cabin.
Yeah.
And literally, that reminds me of my great-grandfather's house. It wasn't that rustic. My great-grandfather's house, in fact, it had an upstairs to it. But they all had those long front porches.
Yes.
The covered, and you go out, they had literally have the rocking chair out there.
Yeah, yeah. In the art and the science, I just want to let people know, on Tuesday afternoons, we do an adventure in science for the kids.
Really?
We actually have...
would that be under Adventures?
That would be, yes, there you go. There you go, Adventures in Science. What we do is we have opened it to the homeschool as well as the elementary school, and they come from 3:15 to 4:15 on Tuesday afternoons. I'll be starting on March 25th, I think it is, or could be 26th in that line. And we break them into 3 groups. So they do a science.
On a Monday?
On a Tuesday.
26th.
Okay, the 26th. So we break them into 3 groups. One does science, and they're going to do one on that particular day. They'll be doing microscopes. They'll be looking through microscopes and seeing. The second group is going to be doing an art group, something with art. She's going to do teaching with sand, with salt, showing what's different things. Everything is science and art related. And then we have a third person who is going to be doing explaining geodes. Then she's also they're going to make a geode, which will be a piece of candy that will actually been designed so it'll look like a geode. So so there's a lot of things going on. We got for Halloween, we're going to do an escape room. We're going to keep that going for 2 weeks. We have a trivia night.
You have to find your way out.
Yeah. Well, we have the coal house in the back, and we're going to design that, and we'll just see how they make it.
I got some friends in Murfreesboro, Tennessee that have that. Now they're in L.A. doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and these places are huge. It's probably twice the size of the room here, and this is a huge room.
We're going to try it.
Yeah.
Small size. One of the things we did last year, which was fun, we did a Mad Hatter tea party. And the staff was dressed in costume. So we have that, and we're going to be doing that again. The quilt exposition, which I gave you the flyer for, that is the biggest exhibit that we have done to date. It will be a 6-week exhibit. It is done by some quilting guilds.
Is there any way to bring some of the quilts up? We had some folks out of Marshall, Arkansas come up. What did we have that? Did you see that show that day, Gil? We had probably 25 or 30 quilts that we displayed out here. Remember that?
We could do that. Yeah.
That'd be so good.
These this group could actually do something like that. We're doing this in 3 sections. We're doing it as the history, and then the tools as they changed, and then the new art as it is today. Because quilting today is a lot different than what it was. And so.
Well, back in the day, you know, you go back into pre-World War II.
Right.
The ladies would gather.
They did.
You know, there'd be 5, 6, 7, and they'd all basically work on what, especially if one was expecting a child. Sit there and they
hand do it. We've tried to resurrect some of these projects. You talked about everybody coming and nearly coming down on Saturdays. Well, in Calico Rock, it was a big bingo. They actually had this big barrel and they pulled names out of it. And people, 2 o'clock on Saturday, everybody was downtown. They talk about it. We tried to resurrect it, and some things we just have to leave to the past. And it didn't work real well. So, and in Christmas time, we do a living windows. Which is, have you been to see that yet?
No.
Okay, what we do is the storefronts, every storefront window on Main Street is set with a living exhibit of Christmas in it. And from there we go to the...
what do you mean by living?
Living means there's an actual person in the window.
Really?
So we had one time was a Christmas workshop. The little elves had their little ears, and then we've had a lot of different things. We did Frozen one year, different organizations like the hospital will do something, and different organizations will do these windows, and that will be on December the 14th this year. We'll get that to you and information on that, and it's followed up by the Parade of Lights and Santa visit.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And that ends our year for us. So.
When I was little bitty, once again, this goes back in the early 60s, I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And we lived just outside of St. Louis over in Illinois. And we went to see the storefronts downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Back then you had like the 2 windows here, the door, and 2 windows here.
Yeah.
So you had a display here and a display there. And kind of like what you see on Mayberry when you see Andy Griffith. I'll never forget this one guy, and there again, the train set, you know, he had 2 mountains, and the train would come up this mountain, had a bridge across and come down. You know, it was just a wintertime scene. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But
we thank our living windows to Kim Meredek, who's from Wisconsin. She has the wagon wheel on Main Street, and she is the one who suggested, why don't we try it? And we've been doing it ever since. It's been, I think we're into our 6th year. That's really amazing. It's fun.
That's good. What about the history of Highway 5 and 56? When was that first paved? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that gravel in the early 70s?
It was actually. It had to be because the bridge crossing the river did not come in until 1963. So
there at the railroad?
At the When you cross over that bridge that you go over Highway 5 now, that didn't come in until 1963.
Really?
Yeah.
So how'd you get
it was
down
gravel
to Mountain
up
View?
until then. Yeah. When you got to Mountain, you had to take the ferry across.
Okay, had a
You
ferry.
knew where the ferry was, and you knew who ran the ferry, and you go bang on his door if you had to at night, you know.
Was it a cable ferry?
It was a cable ferry.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah. So that was pretty neat. But so I'm not exactly sure when it was paved, but at one time, it was called Main Street, as it is today, was known as Bank Street, and it was because there was 2 levels. You had the upper and the lower. Well, when the highway department came through, they just leveled everything. There's a big tree in the middle, and it was a shame it had to go, but it went, you know. So, yeah. Then the hotel, of course, it was built in 1921 to help with the railroad. Yeah. People come for the workers for the railroad and that type of thing. So, it's a really neat town. It has a lot of history. I know that. You know, if you're from a bigger from another state, where Virginia and New York, where they always say, "Oh, there's so much history," we don't have that kind, but we do have our own history, and we're proud of what we have. Mountain View has the music, and it has that type of thing. We're not going to compete with that. Our niche is history, and we really do well with it.
It's a proud history, though.
It is a proud history. They're very proud of it.
You know, it's just a fun town. Like I say, you know, I was making quite a few trips to Conway and Little Rock last year. I'm sorry, but I just don't like driving.
I do the same thing, and I was driving to Little Rock quite a bit, and I do it on Highway 5.
I do too. Well, they've done a great job of improving Highway 5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. From Mountain View on, it's really great.
It's great.
It really is great. It should cut your time, really. It doesn't take as long now as it did.
Well, my
5 or 6
uncle
years.
lives north of Conway on Ackland Gap, and we cut back through 25 to 5 at
Yes,
Quitman, come back
yeah.
through Calico, and it was about 2 hours and 10 minutes at normal highway speed. Of course, it was nighttime. I'm not going to drive crazy at night,
Right,
you know.
right.
And so, you know, at normal highway speeds. We've got about one more minute before we have to end the show. Your final thoughts.
Well, I want to thank you all
My pleasure. Yeah.
for letting me come and tell my story, because I love Calico. I love what we're doing, and I think we're doing a great service for the community.
Yeah.
In my line, I believe under my name may say Community Center and that foundation, and that is because we've expanded. We have moved to the community, which is why we picked up the bridges and the other the storybook programs. So we're doing more for the community and expanding out. So you'll see more of us. I actually go out now and try to start in small towns. I've been working with Yellville and Marion County with their museum, helping them get started and doing some of those things. So it's a wonderful place. Please come down and see us. Check our websites. We have 3 of them.
There you go.
So we have the CalicoRockMuseum.com. We have ExploreCalico.com. And we also have Calico Rock Artists and Artists.com. So that tells you all that we've got. Thank you.
Visit Calico Rock, Arkansas, 23 miles from Mountain View, 23 miles from Mountain Home. We got to run. See you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.